welcome back to another episode of the Geek Podcast.
This is your host, Charlie Radio Williams, and this is Sean-Luc.
Welcome back to another episode of the Geek Podcast.
Sebastian is the only person that has any importance tonight on this episode, so you get no importance. So
I'm never important.
Sebastian, you are awesome and you're important. All right. If nobody tells you this, you are loved. All right. You're cared for. If it was up to me right now, I would make sure you have a drink in both hands. Unlike Sean-Luc.
Oh, you see, no, you had me a drink. That's it. Where is it?
The beer.
I'm not an alcoholic, but I do take a good drink.
It's cool. And since Sean is nowhere around, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Geek Podcast. This is your host, Charlie Radio Williams.
And this is a returning Sean-Luc.
Oh, God. I can't stand you.
I'm sorry. This is coming from the person who was an hour late to his own show.
First of all, I saw the message in chat, and I thought that was like an older message. And I decided to take some herbal medication because I was not feeling too well, and I was having like a slight anxiety attack. So I got lost in like these new Transformers Earth Tree figures from the Netflix.
Really doing a hashtag free plug on Transformers?
It's not a hashtag. I mean, the articulation on these figures are awesome, and Prime also comes with his convoy. So that's pretty cool. So just wanted to drop that in there if you're looking for those. You can pick those up at your local toy store, or Target, or Amazon. With that being said, we are joined by Sebastion Bonet.
Yo. How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
I'm going to ask you a repeated question because we did record this episode previously before the weekend.
Technical difficulties.
But now that it's post, we can actually ask the actual questions.
My question was, is it Bonet or Bonet?
It's Bonet. You got it right. You got it right. It's Bonet.
Okay.
You say Bonet, you owe me $5.
Okay.
So it's Bonet.
Bonet.
Yeah.
Like Lisa Bonet.
Like Lisa Bonet. No relation.
Yeah, Lisa Bonet.
I wish I had a rich cousin that I'm like, yo, is Jason coming over? You never know. We might be related. I'm about to do the ancestry DNA test. Who knows?
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So with this being joined by Sebastian, let's just talk a little bit about this gentleman. He is you do consider yourself an independent artist, correct?
Yep.
Yes, sir. I don't want to butcher that. He's an independent artist. He is also co-host of Nerds of the Round Table. He is also
Nerds Around.
I just want to make sure. All right, thank you for correcting me on that. He is co-host of Nerds of the Round, as well as he is co-owner of or co-partner in INBEON.
I am currently the creative brand officer and showrunner at INBEON Studios.
Now, is there anything else that we should know about you?
I am a loving husband. I do have an art store open, so buy my stuff, please. Support your artists. Hashtag.
We'll put the link in the description.
Links below. And I've learned how to cook during this pandemic. I don't know where the cook was at this whole time.
First of all, that's one of the best traits to learn during this pandemic as a guy, how to cook. And
an Animal Crossing addiction right now.
Nah. I'm avoiding the Animal Crossing addiction. That's why I stuck to Doom. Right? Like I'm addicted to Doom, right? Eternal. And now Avengers. Like I'm playing Avengers right now, and that game.
Dude, I go from Borderlands to Animal Crossing to Borderlands. I'm crossing worlds here, and
Oh, how are you feeling about the DLC that's coming out, the new one?
Oh, I'm glad Krieg is coming back.
Man.
Got to hear some meat puns and shit.
Yo, it's gonna be ridiculous. Going into that psychotic bastard's mind.
You gamer heads, you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to talk about sports? Because we can talk about sports if you want.
We can talk about esports. Yes.
Animal Crossing is an esport.
Wait, Animal Crossing?
No, there's a reason why he's saying that BS right now.
What? Esports is a sport. It takes a lot of esports is a sport like chess is a sport.
He doesn't want me to say what I really say because I just learned that I'm going to be an esports coach for my job. That's why. So he's literally saying all this because he knows I can't bash it.
I'm not. Well, I mean, I wasn't. You put yourself on blast. I wasn't going to say anything.
Nah.
You know,
because it would look weird if I'm over here bashing esports while being a coach.
I don't want to throw shade, but
listen, if you got a player that sucks, dude, you bash it all you can. No. But other than that, if your player is good, like, yep, I got these sponsors, let's go.
Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, Animal Crossing is an esport. You could run marathons in that and triathlons.
Listen.
I run the beaches every morning.
I refuse to play Animal Crossing like I refuse to play any type of games that are either Cooking Mama or Forest. What is it? Forest Moon? Forest Harvest. Harvest Forest. Harvest Moon. I'm just throwing names out there. It's something like that. It's like a farming game. You can play it on.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's like Harvest Moon.
Full Harvest or something like that.
It's like Harvest Moon. I think it's Harvest Moon.
It's been a while since I played that game, so
I will say there's a very creative community in Animal Crossing. I saw someone made their island look like a whole city with dumpsters and all. I was like, dude, that looks like New York.
Well, dude, we posted a thing on our video regarding a con that happened in Animal Crossing with its own cosplay contest.
Yes,
that was creative.
That is again
real creative. Very, very real creative.
Plus, you got celebrities that show up on there and stuff like that. So you go to their islands and whatnot.
So wait, so in Animal Crossing, and this isn't like a promo for the game. In Animal Crossing, you can create your own personal island that defines your character in your game.
Pretty much, you're just decorating the whole island towards your personality or what you want to do. I have the. You have to go around collecting shit though.
So pretty much Animal Crossing is a chibi version of Sims.
Yes and no, because I think you have a little bit more. It stands on its own.
Yeah,
like to compare it to the Sims.
You can't compare. Like people will compare it to Minecraft, and it's not necessarily a Minecraft piece because you're not building everything. Right, but you are doing like the harvesting, and you're like literally creating, like back in the days with Pokemon when you had to create your own, your own room and stuff like that.
What happened to like real video games?
It is a real video game, Charles. Don't you mess it up.
Don't go there.
What happened?
You're gonna get the Animal Crossing fandom after you, bro. Don't do it. Don't jump down that rabbit hole.
You're gonna have Doomarine and Isabel coming at you at the same time.
Hey, Geektopians. What happened to the real video games? Like World of Warcraft or World of Warcraft or World of Warcraft or even World of Warcraft. Just want to put that out there. I think that's legitimate.
You mean the games that have great trailers, great cinematics, but poor gameplay?
First of all, yo lazy ass won't play the game, so you can't talk about a game that you won't play.
I don't have to play it.
You probably have never played. First of all, watching a gameplay and playing a game are two different things. So let's not lump those in the same boat. All right. Until you sit there and you put time into the game and invest in creating a character, you have no say.
Spoiler alert.
No say.
Spoiler alert. I played years ago before it became the big ass whatever it is.
First of all, playing years ago, anybody who uses the argument I played years ago does not contest to even playing the game. All right. That's like me saying I played Mario when Mario first. Matter of fact, I played Nintendo when it first came out. Played Nintendo what? Nintendo has dozens of titles. All right. We are far from the NES era and in a new Nintendo era. What do you got to say, huh?
What I have to say is, even though we're in a new era, games that are good have such a nostalgic factor that they bring it back multiple times.
You're not important.
How many times did they have to actually? How many times did they actually have to reboot World of Warcraft?
They didn't have to reboot.
To get new players to come in.
They didn't have to reboot. All they do is
they rebooted it.
First of all, Mario does a reboot. Sonic
doesn't do a reboot.
Whenever Sega Studio does, they do. What do you mean they don't do a reboot? Whenever they change,
Mario has never gone through a
Mario
reboot.
has
its own iteration.
That's a reboot, sir.
Reboot.
That is a reboot. To bring in a new fan base is what a reboot is. Anytime you're changing the idea of what the overall consensus is to bring in a new generation, that's a reboot. That's like
no, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's kind of like how you have what's a reboot in your definition?
A reboot is when you take a franchise, a company, a movie, a TV, or whatever medium it is, and you redefine it from the ground up with its own iterations, own ideas, and its own.
So Paper Mario falls in that same context.
No, it doesn't.
Mario 3D falls in that
No,
same
it doesn't.
context.
Because you're implying the fact that no, wait.
Mario Go-Kart
You're
falls in that.
implying the fact that Mario and all these other iterations are new instances. Like, this is the very first time he's saving the princess. This is
not
the very
necessary.
first time that he's meeting the Toads. This is the very first time he's facing Bowser. That is what a reboot is.
That
You're
is
literally
not. First of all,
recreating
that is
the
not
beginning
necessarily
of the
true.
story.
Because let's use Spider-Man. You have 3 different Spider-Man universes. Even though they all deal with the same context of Peter Parker, it's still a reboot. You have 3 different Batman movies. Still a reboot. All right.
No, but you see, okay, but here's the difference. In every one of those instances with Spider-Man and Batman, like you just said, they went through their origin story over again.
No. You're wrong. Because the last Spider-Man did not go through an origin story.
You sure about that?
The last Spider-Man did not go through an origin story. We got him in Civil War when Tony shows up at the house and like, hey, don't make me tell Aunt May. I need you to join the Avengers. Then in Spider-Man Homecoming, there wasn't an origin story. We just got Spider-Man dealing with the fact that he's trying to live up to Tony Stark's expectation. And then from Far From Home, it's a continuation.
Is the one exception. That is the one exception to the generalization.
But that still falls.
Still
falls in the context of reboot. So whether if you take it where
let's introduce a new concept, the multiverse. Maybe this is all different universes. Different universes of Mario. Paper Mario is a different universe.
You know what? And I can accept that.
I can accept that too. But once again, when it is created to bring in a new fan, a new age of fan, or to continue an age of fan, it is still a form of a reboot. Even if you try to put sequel or prequel in front of it, it is a form of reboot.
I don't agree. I think you're taking the context of reboots as a form of a cash cow, which in that instance, yes, it is.
First of all,
but in actual ideology of a reboot, you're literally recreating a character's origin. With Spider-Man Homecoming, if you think about it, the origin, the change of origin is the fact that he's still in high school.
Actually, what they did with Homecoming was this. Actually, with Spider-Man, when they introduced him in Civil War, he was already swinging as Spider-Man in the Marvel universe. He just, was caught the eye of Tony Stark.
Yeah, they didn't have to do.
They didn't explain his origin or go through his origin because again they went with that whole assumption that people already know what he went through because everybody knows Spider-Man. The new thing they added in though when they on him Homecoming was the fact that now he had an idol that was not an idol. He had a mentor, which is something they never stuck with the other Spider-Man movies. And even right now, they're still talking about that the other Spider-Man movies still exist somewhere, not in the MCU, but just like this whole multiverse, because I think they want to play with the whole Spider-Verse thing.
Yeah, which I can't wait. I really hope they do that. Like after they introduced it in Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I want to see that dichotomy right there.
Which I think is going to play good for the characters because it's like, it's gonna be interesting because like if Marvel and Sony extend their deal with what they're doing with Tom Holland Spider-Man, it's probably going to include other stuff because I know they wanted to try to include Venom. Sony wanted to get Venom somewhere in that, but I'm just saying it's just going to be interesting. I mean, the whole thing with reboots right now, like I get both points of the argument. Like World of Warcraft, I stood away from because I know people get addicted to it. I've seen so many people. My wife got addicted to it. But in terms of reboots, like you could probably consider some of the sequels from Mario's reboots, like when he went into 3D. But it's also for me, it's like okay, we've got to explore a different multiverse of Mario. But like most of the stuff has been like some of it's been continuation stories, but then some of it's been like okay, we're just going to introduce new characters. And I'm going to be honest, I think Mario's a player. How many princesses does this guy have to go save? You have Princess Paulina, who's now mayor of a city. You have Princess Peach. You had Rosalina, now Rosalina, and
Mario's a player. He a pimp.
And
that's 2%. Yo, spare some.
He's the king of reboots. I think that we should just agree that he's the king of reboots and move on to the next topic.
Not a reboot.
With that being said, Sebastian,
the multiverse theory and a more plausible one.
With that being said, Sebastian, because Sean, he's just rambling for the sake of rambling because he feels he's correct, but he's not correct. Sebastian, this weekend that passed was an amazing event that we tried to talk about, but once again, due to technical difficulties and Sean being Sean,
it's the podcast life. We call it the podcast life. We don't call it technical difficulties. We call it that life. About that life.
We experienced 2 days of a virtual con that you and your team put together that I must applaud you and say was well done. Came across as being super awesome. But INBEON CON 2020, tell us about it. For those who are listening to this, who haven't seen it yet, who didn't jump on the bandwagon, who wasn't out there, Geektopians alike.
I wouldn't consider it a bandwagon type thing. It's more of like an inspirational story of talent helping talent. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Whatever. Oh, first, I just want to give a big shout out to Eric Hutch, who is the CEO of INBEON, for starting this company as one person and building what is a community that surrounds this company of creators. And I want to give a shout out to the team behind it: Lawrence, Larice, Yun, Tommy, everyone who came together, Tony, Jess. There was just a lot of camaraderie to help with the con this weekend, and all the creators, including you guys, for taking the time to help with putting together one of the panels, the podcasting panels. Without the community, without everyone who got together, it wouldn't have been the show that it was, what it was able to accomplish. So August 29th and August 30th was the virtual event known as INBEON CON. Due to COVID, we decided to make the event virtual, and seeing all the flack that a lot of virtual cons were getting, a lot of the anti-support, a lot of the negative support. We were really happy with the turnout. The numbers were really high. The amount of support, the amount of thank yous, the amount of constructive criticism to help make the show even better for people. Just the outpour of love we got over the weekend. Again, it was just phenomenal. The show itself is always been a con for creators by creators. We're not looking to bank off of big names on it. We're looking to build an environment where creators can come, learn how to vent for the first time, learn something for the first time, network, just all these things to come together as a community, and where fans could come see this and get close and personal with the creators and get helpful information, because you have people who are sitting out there who don't know where to start with their stuff, who don't know where to start. Like I said, thank you guys again for being part of the podcasting panel. There's a lot of great nuggets, and it showcased everyone.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah, like, as I was rewatching it, and I didn't even realize how funny Charles was, because he never shows it here on this show.
I'm not funny. I'm not funny at all.
Oh, but no, you guys did a really great job with the information that you both put, because again, the information that these guys shared, everyone who's listening on the podcast panel, are nuggets that you have to take, that you can take with you, and and you could tell that they love doing this. So even though that they're fighting right now like the married couple that they are, but I love you guys. Don't worry, we do it in all podcasts.
That's what we are.
To pull the legs. That's literally what it is. It's 95% argument, 5% love.
And somewhere in between, some information is spilled.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, all jokes aside, again, thank you guys. We had the indie artist panel, the indie creative panel. We had women in creative, and again, everyone coming out, providing the information that they did, just talking with fans, sharing it, and even engaging people, because we went from pre-recorded live with a mix with that. And again, it was just one of those things that we didn't we had a bunch of ideas for the show, and then what it came down to, it surpassed our expectations, and it was a huge learning experience about running a virtual event.
Well, let's talk about that. What were some of the challenges that you found with putting together the event?
Everything. I mean, the first challenge was figuring out how to put a virtual event in the space, because we had decided to do this all the way back in March. We didn't announce it. So it was trying to figure out how we were going to put out a virtual con, and the amount of ideas that were shot out and put out there by the team and everything, we had tons of ideas. Then it came time to actually see what we can do and what we can't. What was real and what was fluff. So it was like all the fluff, like, and even though a lot of the stuff was great ideas, we just took a pen, pinned it up there, because if it's something we could revisit, we'll go back to it. So it was trying to make something seamless for people. And then researching other conventions was the other thing. How are other people doing online cons? What was people engagement? What was people's reaction? What did people like? What they didn't like? And that goes into, again, marketing and researching what the fans are looking for, what creators were looking for. Some people were charging for their shows. We decided, you know what? We're in a pandemic right now. People miss cons, and to have to really go like we could have charged for the event, but we decided not to. We were like, let's just do the event for free, give people a peace of mind, something they could enjoy. And then the other challenge was that, like, a lot of people didn't know, is that the servers where we host our website had actually gone down 2 weeks before the original date. So that was another unforeseen challenge. So we literally rebuilt the website from scratch within
Sean jumped out. It's okay.
3 days.
It's good. It's just you and me. All right.
So we literally rebuilt the website within 3 days. After that, again, it was about the advertisement, helping brands, putting the panels together. We had to get people with scheduling of the times. We had to make sure everyone's times were scheduled. And then further from there is like, we knew we were going to mess up things going into the show, so we knew it wasn't going to be perfect. So the day of the show, links weren't working, and that was a whole back-end issue with cache and all that. So what we did was that we utilized YouTube, Facebook, we utilized Instagram, we utilized everything. So in case if one thing broke down, we can at least direct people to the other. And we worked hard to make this the best show for people to go to have fun, to interact. I mean, we created a whole Facebook group page for people to interact, both a public and a private group. We were having people interact on Instagram. And it was just a matter of figuring out the teams of people. By mid-Saturday, I would say we were a well-oiled machine and knew how to run a virtual show. You even saw that even more on Sunday. Sunday, it was just down packed. We had, I call it the sniper position. That's what my wife was working, where she was just shooting links out to everyone. She was sharing it on the sites. She was sending the links to go up on the site. Then you had the tech team working on everything on the back end. I was on the panel team working the front end, making sure the panels are there, hitting up the Instagram. You have people who were going through the chats, making sure everything was going well, making sure that links were working on the site. So we had a lot of people working behind the scenes, the amount, and that was the unseen stuff. And again, when the smoke was done, I mean, not only were we just like beat, because again, we felt like we did an actual live show, like we were at like a Dare in person.
Convention.
Yeah. But it's just like, there was a high of, we just did something that we came into this not knowing what we were going to do.
Okay.
We came into this like we had an idea, we won't run with this, and we knew we were going to mess up a lot of things, but we didn't know the degree of how much success and how many people were going to reach out to us and say thank you. And it's like, okay, we did something good for the community. The community enjoyed this. The artists enjoyed it. The creators enjoyed it. People are talking to each other. People are networking. And it's like, you know what? we're just going to keep everything up for those who missed it.
Okay.
And you can still go back there, see the live streams for the gaming. You can still see the artists' drawings, because we had a lot of artists there that were doing drawings and everything, live drawing sessions. I mean, you had Alex Rivera, aka Playful Gorilla, do a live drawing session, which was pretty dope. And it was something that people got to interact with him with. You saw Sammy Castillo do a live drawing session. People got to interact with her. And the list goes on. We had young panelists start for the first time. They never been on a panel before, but they were paneling them because we wanted to show degrees of people from all different walks in the industry, regardless of where their skill set was at, where their level, so that people can see something. They can see that, oh, I can do this. And you're getting great nuggets from people in the industry and veterans too.
So at what point did you guys realize we're knee deep in this and there's no turning back?
We are knee deep business and no turning back was Saturday morning when I had to get up and be the face. And a lot of people were like, well, where was Eric? Eric was working behind the scene. The CEO was working. He was doing a lot of work behind the scenes.
Okay.
And then when I did that first live video, like literally, I didn't stop working on some stuff for the site until 5 a.m. Me, Eric, and Lowell were working on that site, and we were all like just out of it, like in terms of that. But then the energy, the fact that, there's no turning back. Got up, drank my coffee, came online, had my Red Bull on the side. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the INBEON CON 2020 show. I'm your host, Sebastian, your show runner for the day, and just running through people like that, introducing, getting things done. That's when I was like, yep, there's no turning back. We're going. It's gone. Train has left the station.
And at least to me, I'm glad it wasn't a train wreck. It was a good speed through. There's very little issues, if you will, regards technicality wise or anything like that. I think it's pretty. What I think you guys did well was also the fact that you guys put it on your YouTube page. For anybody that wasn't able to like get to the website or whatever, it was there on your YouTube page. And if not, it was live on Facebook, or like there were different mediums that you can go to see these panels or to see these events, to see the lives, and to me, that is something that is like pretty amazing, because you guys within the span of one weekend were able to do so much more than just, have panels or whatever the case may be. Right.
Yeah, I mean,
it was to me, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, what we decided to do was that, because we had all these elaborate ideas in the beginning, and I'm not going to crap on anyone else's show or anything like that, because again, people are trying to figure this out. Everyone's trying to figure this out, trying to figure out how can they replicate some type of space. We know for a fact that if the train left the station and was a wreck, it was going to be a learning experience. And it was like, you know what, don't be afraid if you're going to wreck it, because at the end of the day, you're going to learn from that wreck and you're going to make it better. So a lot of the things that went wrong, we were happy with, because it was a learning experience. Like a lot of our team learned about cache issues with the website, what was going on with servers and all that. So there's a lot of technical stuff that we were learning, and we saw this as a way of building real world skills. That's the other thing people don't understand. You're building real world skills as this comes along. So I implore people, like, listen, go out there, go balls to the wall with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, my head's still spinning with a lot of the stuff that happened, because it's just like, it's still surreal that this happened. And it's just like, like, damn, like we did this, but it's also like, okay, what can we do in the next one? What are we going to do in the next one? How are we going to make this, and just the feedback that we that we got, like to help.
Would you consider a hybrid of in-person and virtual con experiences?
Yeah, we've already talked about that. That's already something there. We said that if we're going to go back to a live component for the show, we still want to keep intact the virtual component, because this is the thing, like a lot of people don't, where you have to think outside the box with the virtual shows, how it impacts the vendors and all that, because we know that we don't know the sales numbers for people because we don't control their sites. And I think even when you're doing a live show in person, it's your sales are always going to come from the way you interact with people, because people just don't buy the art, they buy the personality. And I've seen that and know it and have done it. And I feel that, the more that we can get people on board with live drawing sessions, interacting with people, it becomes more interactive. You bring that virtual artist alley element, and a lot of artists who did the live drawings were happy about that. I mean, some people ended up launching Twitch and YouTube channels because we utilized Twitch like crazy. We got to showcase gamers. And we wanted, because this was again mentioned by Eric, to make it a component. Think about this. You're an art. Let's say you guys do a table, right? You're an artist at a table. You're there sitting at a live show. You're interacting with fans, but you could only interact with fans at that location. But if we can also get you that virtual element on the same day of the show, you're now not only interacting with fans at that location, you could interact with fans you get in Canada, California, everywhere throughout the US. People can tune in and be like, oh, this virtual show's going on. My favorite artist is gonna be there. There's a live feed. Let me go hit up their live feed. And that's how we see this. So this way we're bringing in people who you normally wouldn't get unless they traveled out to your show.
What do you think is some ideas that you guys kind of played around with and wish you did bring it to this table that we might see in other shows?
I know some people flirted with the idea of taking advantage of virtual reality, and it's like, as cool as the idea sounds, we were just like, yeah, you have to design a whole virtual interface. People have to have virtual goggles. It's something that, and I know Sean's talked about it. I've heard him say it. As great as that would be and as fun it would be, I don't think people are ready, or any shows ready at that level, because of the amount of work and time and money to design something that's going to be smooth. That would definitely have to be something that people would eventually like beta test, because I know you can do that right now with some real estate companies, that they will have a virtual space designed, but it doesn't, again, you still doesn't beat with in person. But I could eventually see something like that happening though. The more that people can get access to a virtual headset, or even just like by doing it by viewing from your computer screen, where you have that space where you can walk through and like interact, and it pulls that. Now that's a cool option that you have for people, and it's just a matter of people who want to do that. The other idea that we're playing around with, we used to do an event called Comic Bar Con, and we thought about doing it as an after-con show. I mean, we still had some after-con festivities that were going on, such as like Amy's Taco was doing a stream on Saturday night that we advertised. We did the D&D. But Comic Bar Con that we used to run out of Farmingdale, Long Island, was not just a show in a bar that had artists there, but it also had a stage with live musicians. So we're playing around with that idea. If we're going to bring that back, it's just a matter of the logistics. And seeing how we did the virtual show, there were a lot of things that we saw that worked right, that we can probably utilize through Twitch, Facebook, and the website itself. And there were other ideas that we're just going to pin them and say, like, we're going to wait to work on those, because it's more about helping with working with community, making everyone feel included in it too. So like reaching out to different organizations. So not like, again, we're still learning this thing as we go, because it was easier to do it more in person, but now that we're doing this virtual space, we got to see like what can we put in place to not help with a lot of the organizations that we used to reach out to make them come over to the virtual event.
All right, that's cool. Now I have some ideas for you guys. Idea number one. Right, G for G, in between each of your virtual shows, we'll do a recap.
You know what? That I would
sell
do a Geektopian special for that.
That's not a.
I would sell that to Eric. Be like, yo, they want to do a recap.
Listen,
of every
we
panel.
could do a Geektopians recap after every panel. Be like, hey, guess what? Just came out the virtual panel from right here inside my couch. right? And what we just learned today was completely amazing. This artist right here there are artists out there still using canvases as opposed to virtual pads out there. It is a wonderful experience to hear. You guys need to go to INBEON to check it out for yourselves. Right there, link below. Check it out.
Whoa! You're giving out too much there. You're doing too much.
I didn't give out anything. That was literally just one panel.
That's engagement right there.
We haven't signed a deal with INBEON CON yet. We can't be giving them free samples right away, right?
Listen, you got to give them the free sample. You got to let them taste the product.
Listen, the minute I play that for Eric, he's gonna be like, "Okay, let's go." He's gonna hold you to that.
All right.
Of course.
Now, with that being said, all right, since you're kudos for the idea, I would like to be on camera in a silk robe with a pipe, and that'll just be me. What I want to be comfortable. If it's a virtual con, I'm at home. Why can't I have a pipe in one hand, a silk reddish?
I apologize for jumping the gun.
You know,
I apologize.
You didn't jump the gun.
But for Sean, this is the way that this is gonna happen. If Charles is gonna be there with a pipe, he has to be in the little snazzy robe.
Yeah, a little.
He has to be He has to be in the room with a fireplace that he gets with the
green chair. We'll green screen it. We'll green screen the background.
And then you have to hear the violin music. That's it.
Either the harp music, the violin music, or piano music.
And that's why I think you should also be on screen with me too. But instead of in a robe, no shirt. Just no shirt. All right.
Ooh.
No shirt. I'll be in my Ric Flair.
Let me get my workout on first before I do any of that.
I'll be in my Ric Flair, sequence blue or sequence red with the feathers on the side robe with pipe. And you just, do what you normally do. Whatever that is.
Lover,
Stop promoting the Latin lover. First of all, I have more ideas, but in 2021 is going to be the death of the Latin lover. We're going to kill that character off. Right, no more Latin.
Trying to kill this character off for like a year. You're the one that brought it back with the stupid calendar.
I'm glad you brought up the calendar. Hey, Geektopians. now that we are here, if you tune into the podcast portion of INBEON CON 2020, me and the fellas finally convinced Sean-Luc that it is time to do our part to help out with charity. Hit us up on
which charity?
Don't worry, we'll figure it out. Hit us up.
It's the beer fund.
You can either hit up INBEON, or you can hit us up directly at G's for Geek Facebook, the Geektopians, any way you can get us. And
Sebastian, hold on, Charles. I'm gonna follow up with what you're saying. Okay, Sebastian. Now that you've done with INBEON CON, you've had interviews with all the artists, all the photographers. You've talked with your fellow teammates from Nerds of the Round. Do you think there are photographers that are willing to take pictures for each month, and then I would put a set out there for OnlyFans, right? For the pictures that I don't put in the calendar.
I think you have a lot of photographers ready for you. I mean, we're gonna have April the Care Bear. We're gonna have May.
Love it.
Sean in Showers.
Love it. For Sean in Showers,
the fireman.
For Sean in Showers.
I already said it. As long as you are willing to pay my costume maker, she's willing to do it, right? And as long as you pay for labor, parts, materials, especially the fur for doing the Care Bears, okay.
Oh, if I shoot her the ideas and she pictures this, she's probably gonna be like, okay, some of this shit I'm gonna do for free because this is gonna be too good.
Sean in Showers.
The materials are gonna be expensive. That's sure.
Bro,
especially redoing the Napa outfit.
We would kickstart this. We would have a Kickstarter that will be airing on multiple podcast platforms.
Yes.
We would get Catch the Craze involved. We would get Mayhem Mike involved. Bro, we have access to Twitch channels.
Oh.
And then green screen. Oh, we have access to artists that will have fun with them green screen.
Bless your heart, sugar. Bless your heart.
You're like, no, you see what you opened up?
Yeah, I see what I did. I kind of screwed myself.
Finally, Hercules.
I screwed myself on this one.
Hercules. Sherman.
And for every calendar that you kickstart towards, $5 goes towards Feed the Sebastion Beer Fund.
Yeah. So the way I look at it
goes to an actual charity.
The Sean
in that's Shower, like the best charity.
The Sean in the Shower definitely needs to be like the Allspice commercial. And I think that would be great. Like if we got like 12 different photographers and we said to the 12 different photographers, we set them up with 12 different cosplay artists, that'd be
12,
awesome.
or just 12 different
No,
ideas.
we set them up with 12 different cosplay artists.
No, because I don't want to do cosplay for all 12 pictures.
Well, we set them up.
It's gonna be 12 months of Sean.
Yeah,
exactly.
but think about it like this: if we set you up with 12 different cosplay artists and 12 different photographers, then that's more people who get represented.
Ooh,
that's more people who we get to put their talents out there.
But it would be costume.
I got one for you.
It wouldn't be the cosplayers. Like
I figured.
Go ahead, Sebastian.
I figured out March's. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off. I figured out March's set.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that whole scene from was it American Beauty with the girl with the roses that she's just in that whole picture with the roses? Instead of roses, we recreate that scene with Sean, but it's nothing but pops.
Yo,
that it's interesting and creepy at the same time.
But that's the point.
I think I'm still down for November being Cuddles Giving.
Cuddles Giving, ew.
It's November. It's like peak cuddle season right there.
Well, I wouldn't. I don't know. I guess I'm not a big Thanksgiving. You know? I'm a foodie for Thanksgiving.
Good. I'm glad you said that.
I'm not. I'm glad you said that. Ideal behind.
I'm glad you said that because we're going to combine the two. What we're going to do is we're going to get a sturdy table that can hold you, right, and then put Thanksgiving food all around you, right, and just take shots. There you go.
Just try to make you. He just turkeyed you, bro.
Yeah, he did. He really just did.
But you can also the food will be real food. So I mean, I don't know if we want to use prop food or I don't know what camera magic is.
Food would probably be better.
You know,
it's less sticky.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
For 1 second, I thought Charlie was gonna say that we were gonna have you on the table in the turkey position.
Oh no!
Even better.
No!
Even better.
No!
Even better because we can get those turkey things that you put in the turkey feet.
No,
but have Sean looking at the camera.
Wait, and
you know, have him looking at the camera when he did that.
We can have it as a vote.
That's not fair because you guys outvoted me in the freaking podcast panel.
We can have the fans vote
now on the INBEON YouTube channel. Make sure you go check it out.
Sean, it's not that you got outvoted. It's the fact
so this is what I'm gonna do.
People heard this idea of doing a Sean-Luc calendar, and as much as
I guarantee you, this is just the creative artists.
As much
the casual person would probably not want this. So when you post this up on the air, this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, being the fact that I was teasing an announcement last time before INBEON CON, right? I'll wait for this to come out. And I will let people know, well, this is the announcement. We're making a calendar. We're getting 12 photographers, right? If
you guys should literally run a poll.
This will be
what ideas do you think we should run with this?
So we're going to set this up, and you're right. This will be for 2022.
Yes,
this will be for
take time.
This will be for 2022, and what we will do also, we will do a Kickstarter, like you were saying, Sebastian, and every step of the way, we will let you know the process.
We'll have Hannibal record the BTS stuff.
We'll do Instagram shoots, recordings of on days that we're actually doing the photo shoots. We'll do behind the scenes. I'm so happy that something that I believed in from day one of G's for Geeks.
Yo, this is literally Charlie Williams' Snyder cut right now. This is the Snyder cut coming true for Charlie Williams.
But this is what I mean. Whenever I pitch ideas, you're always against me.
And I'm still against it.
But then when I pitch it to when I pitch it to the universe,
because there's no goddamn point anymore.
First of all, ladies,
no goddamn point.
Hey, Geektopians, if you listen to if you listen to us being a part of the podcast panel, you will hear other people who are like, yes, we need to do this.
Bro, they signed off on it quick. That was it.
Yo, that was the quickness. I was like, oh, fuck.
So Sean, do you not see the genius that is the Kubrick?
That's not a genius thing. You're just trying to bore me out.
Charlie Kubrick Williams. We're just going to change it from radio. Charlie.
No, here's the thing. When the calendar comes out and then people start recognizing you for your calendar work, what would you do, Sean?
Here's the worst part. Say my calendar goes out and the kids find out.
Even better.
They're going to have the calendar in the building.
Even better. You know why? Because I'm going to make sure that every calendar comes with a Sharpie. Gets the sign in, bitch. gets to sign it.
Yeah, but with the pictures that we're talking about, we're gonna have to make it like
No. It's going to be PG.
It's gonna be PG. But like you said, you'll have your OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's going to be PG unless you're saying
I would love to know
Hold up.
what student is gonna pay to be an OnlyFans subscriber just to get these stupid pictures of me.
Sebastian, I think Sean.
No. You want to know what we're gonna do? We're I'm sorry, Charlie. What we're gonna do with the OnlyFans people who pay to see it? Sean's just gonna be holding up a sign like this as soccer.
No. Even better.
No, we don't do that. No,
Even better.
Okay,
Because Sean
Thorne got hit hard with that one.
Sean just said it best, Sebastian, and I think this is the best idea Sean came up with. Why stop at one calendar? Let's do an alternate version. Comic books do it with their front covers, right? They give you.
Oh, we're having variants now.
So
we're having calendar variants.
We will create the overall 12-month regular PG calendar, and then for the special for the special tier Kickstarters, they will get the exclusive variant calendar with the more raunchy Sean-Luc. So you
My
have
body is not formidable enough
it's
to
for
be
charity.
considered
It's for
raunchy
charity. It's for
and-
charity. It's for charity. It's for charity. It's for charity.
Yeah, bro. We gotta bring up that beer fund.
Sebastian needs beer. Sketchfed needs a studio. It's for charity. Come on, let's.
There's people that are actually losing their jobs. So
we're gonna spread the wealth. We're gonna spread it.
Okay.
But first,
Okay.
First,
For the
right
record, I when I said to do this, I was actually talking about actual charities.
No, yeah.
Charities
now.
that
Oh
are
no. I'm still talking about actual charities too. I'm not trying to be like anybody from the Trump Foundation. Cyber money. Cough. But what I'm saying here is, I love that you are joining on board because other people in our community are like, yes, the Geektopians, yes, let's get Sean, the Latin lover, out there. Yes.
Here's the thing. Is it because they want to see this, or is it because they want to see something funny, and in turn,
Why can't it be both? Why can't it be both?
I think people want to see something because we're making these jokes about this calendar, and obviously the seriousness is that because produced, you said everything would go to charity and all that for people who need it and everything. But I think it's just also it's the fact that it's content creation. And it's just in a way where we're all just having fun. They're just looking at it's a calendar of a bunch of guys that got together. We're just goofing off.
Yeah,
and it's not
guys
really
and girls, because we're gonna have female photographers too.
Yeah.
Let's
and
get
let's
that out
be
I
there.
include females in that too.
Let's be honest.
That's
It's not like anybody who works with you that's behind the scenes most of the time is not going to create mugs, socks, tote bags, hoodies, shirts, anything that can be printed.
Hold on, really?
It's not that. You can trust me when I say to you right now on audio and on YouTube, and I probably will put this on Facebook as well, that I personally, Charlie Kubrick Radio Williams, will not utilize this moment of having you do a calendar to create side merchandise that the Geektopians, that if they really want, they can post in the comments what kind of accessories would be great to go with this calendar. I will not try to pitch that at any point in time or try to create that merchandise against the Geektopians' wishes unless the Geektopians say, hey, let's do this. I promise you right now, I will not. I won't.
So in other words, what you're saying is, in your own words, if Geektopians say, "Hey, I want to put a mug with Sean's face on it," or whatever the case may be, then you'll put a mug out there with my face on it.
What I'm saying is,
we need a pop. That's it. We need a pop for every month.
That'd be awesome.
The Sean pop.
Well, first of all, we got to figure out how the legality issues behind that.
What I'm saying is,
I
will not move
in a
forward.
heartbeat.
I will not move forward and do those things, unless a Geektopian says they want all that stuff. a single Geektopian, if a single voice comes from out of these shadows,
It's a trap. I know it's
and
a trap
says-
because
and
he's
says-
considered himself a
he's setting it up.
Geektopian.
if
He's setting it up.
a Geektopian, matter of fact, you know what? Let me not just limit this to the Geektopians. If a person that is not me comes from out of the geek shadows and just says, "Hey, merch this bitch," I'll comply. I'll comply. But
That was an invitation for the beard to comply.
I'll comply.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, by all means, you guys, if you guys want to see merchandise out of this stuff, either with Geektopians or even my calendar in general,
Oh,
go ahead, say something. I guarantee you ain't gonna happen. But you know what? Hey,
Mother's Day's gift.
I was wrong before. There was this whole meme that people did on Facebook where if I got 10 likes, I would have to announce my crush. I didn't expect to get 10 likes.
Well, here
Apparently, I got
here-
13.
Here, no, I'm kicking you out the room, Sebastian. Here's another idea, Sebastian. Not only if the calendar is successful, right? What we should do as a follow up within 2022
Get a studio.
is the Latin Lover album.
What?
Oh, bro, you gonna make a house album?
The
No!
Latin Lover
Freestyle.
album.
But no.
Freestyle.
First of all, you see, even you're excited about it. See, you wasn't excited.
No.
about
I'm excited to say the word no.
We'll do the Latin Lover album.
I can't even sing.
First of
Bro,
all,
we would have you do the album, and what we would do is this. We would get everybody on the podcast panel, including Charlie, to do backup.
I'm not going to do backup. I'm going to do
You
one
would
better.
do backup.
I'm going to do
You would-
one better. I'm going to show up.
Oh, you're gonna do a duet.
No. I'm
Means
gonna
that's the only
show
thing
up
better.
in full costume and be in the studio like Rick James. Sang, bitch.
Why?
Sang, bitch. Super freak. Super freak. With wig and all.
You may have to call Dave Chappelle on that one.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be in the studio. Just,
He's
I
gonna be like,
that.
"Is it funny?"
I
That's
like
good
that.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the
It's
ideas
gonna
that
be
we come up
funny.
with.
All right, here you go.
Fuck your couch, Sean. But yeah, we'll do the calendar and then we'll do an album.
I'd rather just do the calendar if I know it's going to be successful. Get a studio,
stop.
then build short films.
Stop doubting yourself. If Joe Exotic can create not one, not two, I think it was like 3 albums, right? He has like 3 albums.
I don't know. I lost
I
count.
think it's
All them
5.
people were
If-
crazy, bro.
Look at that. If Joe Exotic could create 5 albums, we can all get together and write a whole entire album. We'll write it like
Yo, Tommy would mix that, bro. He would like, "Yo, I'll do
No,
the
he
sound."
would.
Tommy, if you're listening,
Lawrence would shoot the cinematography.
once
I
again,
know he would for the music videos, for the #1 hit singles that we're doing.
Tommy, if you guys are listening, I got you sold on the calendar. Jump on board with the Sean-Luc album. G is for Geek, Sketchfed presents in connection with. We all get credit on it, but it'll be Sean on the cover. You know what? Tonight I want to create a Photoshop version of this cover. Just so that when I put out the podcast on Instagram, there will be a version of that, the Sean-Luc album.
I'm afraid you're gonna need to do the album and a Photoshop of a
Gonna be-
calendar.
I mean, I could do that. You know, I can pull a picture from you, just Photoshop that shit. But I think I'm gonna
It's
go
gonna
with
be a
this
wrestling picture. I
one-
already know.
Oh, it's not gonna be a wrestling picture. Oh no.
Ooh.
Ah, crap. He's gonna take the one with me in the hot tub.
Oh, first of all,
Oh, in the hot
don't-
tub.
don't-
Wait, we'll call that one hot tub time machine, Sean.
Hot tub time machine. That would be like June, maybe June, I guess. Or June would be like lifeguard Sean, because it's the summer. It's the summer.
Baywatch.
Yeah, we'll put your head on David Hasselhoff's body. It'll look weird, you know. It'll look weird.
David Hasselhoff. That's the. Why you gotta bring the Hoff, man?
Because it's Baywatch. That's all in his head.
All right,
All right, so
guys.
So how was your guys' experience over the weekend though with the con? I liked.
I enjoyed it. There was one panel that stood out to me that I'm going to talk to you about off air. But I there was something that was said that I thought was real interesting. I think like I'm happy. One of the panels that I'm really happy is I think it's called the women I'm
Women
butchering
in
it.
creative.
Yes, I think that was very awesome. Seeing that level of like communication and just spreading that like, hey, we are part of this field as well. We have representation. So I was very happy to see that. I did listen to the podcast panel. I'm be honest, it wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my favorite.
You don't want to hear yourself.
That
He bring himself.
that Charlie Williams guy did not get enough airtime.
Dude, you were a whole ass pastor.
Sean-Luc got to speak the most. He was
He definitely did not.
He was speaking over everybody. I think the beard was awesome. Catch the Craze was awesome. I think everybody. Adrian has issues. Awesome. Everybody was awesome, but Sean just kept hogging the mic, and it kind of ruined the experience for me.
Anyway, it to me, everything that I was able to catch up on was really cool. Like I said, I did like the fact that you put it on your YouTube because being the fact that I had a crazy weekend myself, I wasn't able to catch everything live, but luckily I was able to see things through the website and actually learn and experience it, even after the fact, which I thought to me was beneficial. And I feel like with artists and everything like that, they need to have that kind of like breath of fresh air where it's like there are artists out there that are going out there and trying to do the best that they can with even with the circumstances given. Like this is how you can do your work. This is how you can be in your craft. And the fact that they every panel, just about every panel, because that D&D panel was just crazy. Just about every panel had a golden nugget of instructional fortitude behind it. And that says a lot when you're trying to build a con with creators in mind.
Well, I love what you guys did with the cosplay panel. I have to throw that out there too. Like the way that you guys were able to judge, and like the cosplayers submitted both photos. They did turnarounds. They did their own poses. They kind of went a little bit into depth into like the material that was made for their outfits. I think that was awesome as well. So
yeah, there was a lot recorded in that cosplay contest video that we had to cut. The reason I believe we went with the pre-recorded cosplay contest versus a live one was only to avoid any videos that shouldn't have been aired. That was just to keep that, because again, we try to keep everything family friendly, and thank you for that. And I got to give a big shout out to Naja, aka Eyes of Naisha, heads of Geeks Out Snug Harbor. This is also Geeks Out Staten Island. They're actually holding their con as we speak. They're doing theirs on the 5th and the 6th of September. One version of the con will actually be live. They're going to do it in a park. And then the second version, which is the next day, is going to be virtual. So we'll just send her some stuff to help out with her con and all that, like a nice little gift basket for virtual fans. And she's just amazing the way she's like, you ever get to speak to her, just like her whole journey when she started being a promoter. I mean, she was running her con last year when she had like dislocated her shoulder. I was like, dude, you dislocated your shoulder and you're running a con. What's wrong with you? So it's like, I wanted to have fun and run something for geeks out there. And so she was amazing with helping out with the cosplay, and the judges too, who were all involved. We got together that one night, watched them all, and it was really a tough cosplay contest to judge. You can see it with the judges. Everyone from the kids to everybody who entered came with their A game. And it was a really, really tough competition. Like, we wanted to pick everybody, but we had to pick winners. Yeah. I mean, the runner year up for this year, she won last year's competition. So it was like, again, it was really tough competition that was in there. And it was something fitness. The guy who did the Gladiator cosplay, he ended up winning for this year, and it was just, again, it was a phenomenal cosplay, and just what he just described what he did with the cosplay.
What was that other cosplay that won? It was like I couldn't figure it out for myself.
It was from It was from one of the Final Fantasy games that she did. I don't remember which one specifically. I think it was like 14. She got runner up, and for best build, best build was Guardian from the robot cyborg version of Guardian from Alpha Flight.
Okay.
Oh.
So when we were looking at the best build category, it's just the amount of time that he took to build this to get it to actually, because he actually took a picture to replicate the scene.
Right.
The amount of detail that went into designing the circuitry.
Okay.
And then the movement that he was able to, again, it was like, it was really
because I saw it. I just couldn't figure out who it was at the time. But now that you mention it, I'm definitely like, yeah.
And the kids, I mean, we had 3 kids that came in. We picked one for the winner, but we chose that they're all going to be winners. We're going to do something for all the kids because all their cosplays were phenomenal. And I mean, with the exception of Faith did only the picture, but there is actually, because we don't show it on the video, but Faith and her mother submitted a whole PDF document of how they started from step 1 all the way to the very end. So there was like pictures. It was. Cool. When we were cutting the video, we were trying to figure out how we could put the PDF in there, but then it was like, it's too much to put in the video. So we took like the best things, like when they did the close up of what was on the belt buckle, which was the frogs, which is a throwback again to the Mandalorian, when the child was eating the frogs, and there was just little nuggets in her cosplay that just it set the bar for it. And again, the other two, like who did the cosplay Chris and cosplay Drax, when they did Deadpool and Wolverine, they were just really amazed. The Wolverine, I'm not sure if people saw it, but you can see drool from the tongue, which was just really great detail for the symbiote Wolverine. And the amount of footage I had to cut, we actually spent a longer time of deliberating the cosplays because we were closing up on stuff and all that, looking at things. So there was a lot of stuff that was going into that. But it was a big thank you to all those cosplayers that did it, though, man. It was a great competition. And again, the judges were awesome. If you go and look up the judges, Tashio, Geek Girl, Nerd Truth, Teddy Agul, and Isaac Nisha, they've all done some great cosplays, and they put some grazing detail, and to have them like stumped in terms of what they were seeing, they were like, dude, this is a really tough competition. I mean, there were times and Nerd Truth was like, dude, I just want them all to win.
I mean, I feel like it gets to that point sometimes where you just like, this is just so awesome, everything's so good. But like you said, you have to choose someone. The whole point of it being a competition, at some point, you have to choose someone. I really wish that my FX skills were really awesome, because this is where I would be like, hey, and here's the photos that me and Sean was going to submit of ourselves. But I don't know.
We're good.
Maybe that cut might make it at this point on the YouTube. Maybe that might make it in, at this point. That I might.
The cut. The Charlie cut.
You've already seen my cosplay.
Don't worry.
I feel like that's enough.
They haven't seen what I was going to cut in. Don't worry, sir. Once again, when I have tons of photos of you and I could just chop off the head and just paste it, it's like,
oh, look at the time.
Yeah. Hey, Geektopians. We've reached that time where Sean has to go off to bed and he needs his glass of milk. Sebastian, it was great having you on today. First of all,
thank you for having me.
I feel like we didn't really get to talk about your personal artwork, but I think the next time we definitely want to have you back on again, so that way we can deep dive into the art that is
artwork. Oh, that crap. I don't know, man. They could go to they could go to my Instagram. They'll see all my crap.
Listen, I have like pins of yours, and I think I have like two pieces of work from you too.
Listen, you already know I have artwork of yours like all over the places right now, so.
Don't worry, I'll just kidnap you. I'm gonna kidnap you in your artwork. Fuck it. Why not just take the artist?
You gotta talk to Jesse.
Take the artist in the work.
Yeah, talk to his wife, because that's the first kidnappy.
The black van. Anyway, it was great having you on, Sebastian.
No, thank you guys for having me back on.
Sebastian, just for the viewers' sake, where at least those for audio, where can they find your work and all your good stuff?
Absolutely. They could find it at my Instagram at Sebastian Bonet Art. They could find it on Facebook. If they need to find me on the podcast, just look up the Nerds of the Round. And soon you'll start to see some stuff posted to INBEON's website. That's INBEON.com for the studio to check out the series. So you will see series start popping up there. So there's a lot of fun stuff in the works for later this year in 2021.
Okay, awesome. Anything from you, Sean, before we head out?
No, it was a good night speaking to you, Sebastian. Always fun. Hope to speak to you again real soon. And I think let's just close it out.
All right. And Geektopians, if you're still looking to get G is for Geek merch to support us, you can go over to sketchfedstudios.com and click on Sketchfed Wear. We have a link over to our Teespring, to which right now we have 6 shirts up that are available with more designs on the way. Other than that, you can get us on G is for Geek at the 2 Geeks on Twitter. You can check out our YouTube page, the Geektopians, featuring Sean-Luc. You can check this YouTube and other YouTube of our episodes on there's so much to plug on Sketchfed Studios YouTube. There's a new channel that's about to come out called Sketchfed Box, which will be more in depth on like video creation and some other things, trying to figure that one out in the map. And you can catch this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play, and wherever else you get your podcast. And that's it. And nothing, no one. All right, yeah,
that's it. Like
I know it's like I'm dragging it. I just love this.
You're doing the Hispanic goodbye, brother. That's
right. Like let's just
and Transformers Earth tree figures.
No, goodbye. Anyway,
and with that said, ladies and gentlemen, as always, we are out of here.
The G is for Geek podcast with Charlie Radio Williams and Sean-Luc is a presentation of Sketchfed Studios, produced by Charlie Williams and edited by Hannibal Darby. To find more episodes of the G is for Geek podcast, make sure you check them out at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and wherever else your podcast needs. If you need to hear Charlie Radio Williams and Sean-Luc shoot the shit on any of your topics or questions, please send a tweet to the 2 Geeks on Twitter, or you can send a message on Instagram for the Geektopians. For web series, podcasts, blogs, and more, please make sure to head over to sketchfedstudios.com. And as always, stay geeky, stay you.